They say that life is hard, that there's not enough to go around, and that it's not spiritual to want money. And repeatedly, they say to themselves, I'm not good enough. I say that life is filled with possibilities. Abundance is literally all around us. And you being here is more than enough. My name is Arabelle, and my assignment in this life is to question the belief systems, to learn the secrets that are hidden out in the open, and to show others what's possible. Each episode, I bring you a guest or a message that will make you question your choices, challenge your views, dig deep into your beliefs, and wake you up to your truth. Join us as we walk through this thing called life. You ready? Let's do this. Hey, Jodie, thank you so much for being on the Awaken Leader interview series. Really, really happy that you are here today with us.
Cool. Thank you for inviting me. I'm so excited. I was really stoked to be invited to come and speak and to share my journey. So thank you.
Yes, absolutely. So first of all, why don't you go ahead and introduce us a little bit of who you are, what you do, and also a bit of your story. I know you have a very interesting story, so we'll dive deeper into that in a bit.
Cool. No worries. So hi everyone, my name's Jodie Treanor, or if you follow me on social media, it's under Jodie Hanson, different aliases. I'm a mum of three. I have three beautiful boys. We live in New Zealand, in a remote little place called Franz Joseph, and our youngest son has a disability, but I understand we'll talk about that a bit later. Ordinary person. Yeah, I work full time. We also run a separate business with as far as holiday homes and accommodation goes. Yeah, that's just a tiny piece of me.
Yeah, beautiful. And you know what? That's what this whole aim of this interview series is about. It's about everyday, ordinary people doing extraordinary things. So
Awesome.
That's where I really want to find out a little bit more about your story in a way where I know that you're a mum of three. And I also know you as a very strong mum, and being a new mum myself, yeah, I really look up to you and what you stand for, and actually like how you show up on social media as a mum as well. You really inspire me. So this question is more for me, but I know that people who are watching this interview, they're mums as well, so they will be inspired by your story as well. So would you like to take us through a little bit of your story and the challenges in your life, and how, what kind of mindset do you have to overcome them?
Probably the last 4 years, because that's really when I think my awakening really happened. So as I said, I'm a mum of three boys. I work full time for the New Zealand government. My job is quite emotionally taxing. I work for Child Protection Services. I had our youngest son 4 years ago, and he suffered a brain injury at birth. So that changed what was already a really challenging dynamic within our family. My husband and I both working full-time jobs. We had our two older sons at the time. So that put more stress on us, trying to find a carer for him, trying to still keep working to sustain our household, our mortgages, look after our other two children. And it was that was the first time, I think, when I look back and I really reflect on it, that there was a moment there of this can't carry on. We can't carry on the way we're going. We can't be stretched thin as far as spending time with our family goes. So that was kind of when the seed was planted, I'd like to say. And over those, probably, well, I've been in the business now for just over 12 months. So it would have happened when he was about, 8 months old. I was at work, not the place I'm working at now, but I had a real problem. He had a seizure. And my mum, who was helping us take care of him, she called me panicking. And I went to say to my boss that I needed to go home. And it was a real problem. It was a real issue. They didn't make me feel comfortable about leaving work at all. And I left work crying, came home crying. The issue was just really emotional. And there was another moment of, this can't carry on. We can't keep doing this. I can't keep having this pressure from work. So there were a lot of moments like that in the first 2 years. And then I started dabbling and started in the online marketing world. I started being curious around that. And I started off with one business, which is the typical online marketing, tap people on the shoulder, hey, you should check this out. And it just didn't resonate with me. It didn't align with me. I'm not a salesperson. I don't like the idea of shoulder tapping people and trying to push them into my product, trying to force sales. So I really struggle with that kind of space. Then I saw a post of one of my friends online, and she was someone I've always looked up to because she's another working mum. She has sons, and it was clear that something had shifted in her posts and her messages that she was portraying over Facebook. So I started following her, and then within a couple of months, she said she'd joined a business, and how much it aligned with her. Her values and mine are very similar. So I thought, well, I want to know about this. I asked her about it. Obviously, she gave me some information. Within, I think, 2 hours, I knew that this is something that's going to work. There's going to be a change to my family dynamic, and I went all in. I think the biggest thing though was that my husband and my family already knew how stretched I was. They already knew how busy I was. We'd already started another business to try and get ourselves ahead. So they were really worried. There's a lot of concern around how are you going to manage another business? How are we going to afford this? So it caused a lot of conflict. It put a lot more pressure on what was already a strained relationship of people that are working full-time with a son with a disability. So it put a bit more pressure there. We went all in. Fast forward a year on, or just over a year on, it was everything I knew it would be. It was everything I knew would serve to my family to help me find a bigger purpose, in life. Yes, as far as financial needs go, it's met those needs and more. But what it's done to us as a family, to me as a person, the strength it's given me, it's given me more than what I expected. I signed up just thinking it was a financial move, but it's been way more than that. So yeah, that's kind of that's a really, believe it or not, a nutshell, everything in a nutshell of what the journey's been so far.
Yeah. And I can imagine that tension within a family, especially with everything else going on. And suddenly now you're wanting to start doing something else. And that's the question that I actually want to ask because, that's the kind of tension that everyone goes through, whether in partnerships or in families or even, I talked to Harry the other day and, Harry went through the same thing with his parents. So especially when it comes to us as in like all of us doing something different from what everyone else is doing, there is this doubt, there's this skepticism, and is it going to work, what is this thing? But what I really want to know is, how did you handle that? Did that tension go away within a short period of time, or did that tension go away like when you get results, or did you actually sit down and have conversations? I would love to know that dynamic in your family, how you handle that.
Yeah, absolutely. The biggest moment of when my husband, because he was the one that was the most worried about me, was when the first sale came through, because I think it was within 3 weeks of me starting the business and advertising it online, that we had our first teammate join. And that was kind of, you could see it on his face. He went, okay, it's not a scam. That was the first thing. And then within probably another couple of weeks, he made a comment to me about how he feels my attitude's changed, the way I was holding myself. I wasn't walking around like a stress ball anymore. A lot more just calm. He kind of started noting things like that. And then we just had a moment where I think we were like ships in the night. I was coming back from work. He was leaving. So we had about like a really, really quick dinner together, 10 minutes together. And he said to me, he goes, I can feel something changing. I feel like you're not as worried as what you were. I can feel that you're not, you're more present with us. You're not stressing about a bill that you're anticipating in 2 weeks' time for the power or the phone or whatever. And so that was a real moment of, I felt myself exhale. You don't realize how much you're carrying until someone, especially a loved one, someone so close that's in your family, notes that, and says and points it out to you. And then there were other little moments along the way where my parents would go, oh, did you hear about this? And I'll go, we don't care about that anymore. We don't need to worry about that anymore. So there was like a ripple effect. It started off with me, and I guess a lot of mums will resonate with this, that they're very much the cornerstone for their own little family. And I guess as well, what I realised is that I was always trying to look after my parents too, my brother, my sister-in-law. And because of that, because of their reliance on me, I guess, because I get stuff done, it was a ripple effect to them. It caused them to be calm. It caused them to stop worrying. It caused them to change their beliefs around money, around abundance, around how life is ours for the taking. It really impacted that way. It was like pockets, moments, whether it be us receiving money or commission, or whether it be an attitude change towards something. Just people, in all honesty too, a lot of people actually started to drift away because they couldn't bear the positivity that we started to radiate, and it's really sad, because you do realise that some people want to be stuck in the toxic victim mode, and we found a lot of those people dropped away.
No, I totally get it. And that's something that I would always say, whenever you step up, whenever you, whatever you want to call it, whether you raise your vibe, you raise your frequency, whatever is not in alignment with that will automatically fall away. And that's actually one of the most challenging parts of up leveling our life and our business, because we need to be ready to release them. And I also see this journey that we're on as a hero's journey or a heroine journey. It's like walking on a path of uncharted territories, and people will doubt us, we will doubt ourselves, but keep forging the path forward. And then we find our elixir, and then we bring it back to our tribe, and then that's when they're like, wow, this works. Sorry for doubting you. And I absolutely love what you said. It's you. Like, when you actually shifted yourself, you don't need to even tell anybody to do anything. They start noticing that. And then that's like the best way to inspire. And what's the quote? Be the change that you want to see in the world.
That's right. Yeah. Very true.
Yeah. Now, I want to ask you something, a very simple question, yet a very complicated thing that not many people have mastered it, me neither, which is, how do you manage time? How do you make it all work?
Oh, wow. It was hard. It was hard in the beginning. I managed my business in the pockets of my time. It was a real discipline and a mind shift to use every little bit of spare time I had to invest in my business, which essentially also means invest in myself. So whether that be personal development, whether that be mindset stuff, whether that be writing content, whether that be the training, and as you know, there's different aspects of this journey that can fast track you. The more you invest into it, the faster you can see results. So because of where we live geographically, it's a 2-hour journey one way to my work office. So I've got a flexible contract, but I have to be there a couple of days a week. So I'd utilize that time. When you're driving, you're pretty limited with what else you can do. But I'd use that time with audiobooks, like listening to Tony Robbins or A Happy Pocket Full of Money, anything like, just even Oprah Winfrey, like some soulful conversations, anything that had real meaning to it and content, stuff that inspired you. I'd use that time with audiobooks and personal development. On my lunch breaks, I'd be writing content. I carry a little book with me just to, if it like a little seed comes into my head in the middle of a meeting, I'll just quickly make a note of what that was, so I can invest more time into it and really try and tease it out later. But it was being really disciplined and really wise with your time. And so with our son and his disability, he has a lot of sleep issues. So I'd find myself up at 3 o'clock in the morning, when your body's awake now because you've spent so much time trying to put your son back to sleep. So I'd really, I could have easily sat in front of Netflix or watched a movie or done something really, unproductive. So I was forcing myself to sit and write, reflect, even yoga at 3 o'clock in the morning, just to try and put something back into myself. It was using the little time I had really wisely. I'm not a structured person. I hate cooking. I hate doing laundry. It's all those things that they still have to be done as a mum. And really deciding as well, I guess, what's important. So if I want to change my life in 5 years' time or 5 months' time, is the laundry really important? Or is writing content important? Investing time in myself, is that more important? And having 3 children, you know, especially the age gap, deciding actually I would rather spend time listening to them about their day than doing the dishes. Or, you know, okay, so what? We've had eggs on toast for dinner. We're sitting together and having that, you know. So I think that the biggest thing for me to motivate me through that time was to ask myself, do I want this to be my forever, or is this just what I have to go through for the next, you know, 3, 4, 5, 12 months to get where I want to be, so that this is not my forever. And that really motivated me and pushed me through those moments, and helped me discipline myself.
You just said the word that is very important for me as well, which is discipline. I see that a lot of people say that they want this, they want that. Yeah, my why is so strong, etc., etc. But then they do affirmations, but they're not enough. We need to have that discipline. And as a mom myself as well, and as somebody like who didn't plan to become a mom, now I'm having to learn things like doing it the new way. I thought I was busy. I was kidding. You know, I wasn't busy. Like now I get it. I mean,
Yes.
I respect moms like you who have 3 boys and who is doing so many things and still have that discipline. But the question that I have before we move on to the business side of things is, you know, you're still, yes, you have discipline and you're not having like one stretch sleep. You're up in the middle of the night. You're still working. You're still doing housework, the parts of stuff that you don't like. How do you manage to remain? I know we're not happy all the time, but then how do you manage to remain, I don't know what the word is, balanced, or not get frustrated, or just acceptance? I don't know what it is like, but how do you remain in that state?
There's definitely moments of frustration. There were definitely moments of, I can't do this, gosh, you know, every day. So I don't want anyone to be fooled here. It's not a thing where everything's happy 24/7. But I think what I really enjoy about social media, and the way I use it, is a way of expression, a form of expression. And what I've found is that the more I was honest about my flaws and my vulnerability and owning those moments where life sucked, the more people resonated, you know, because let's be honest, we're all human. And I think when you see someone amazing on Facebook and you think, wow, their life's so awesome, but then they say something like, actually, today was a really horrible day, you think, wow, you're human. I can resonate with that. It was a real shift, though, because not everyone wants to be vulnerable, especially online, you know, where you open yourself up to public criticism. It's a real block to move through. But I guess moving through that and owning those moments where I've written a post where it says, I had no sleep last night. My kid, you know, he woke a dozen times. I've woken up and the dishes aren't done from the night before. My house is a mess. We've got someone coming in 5 minutes' time. What the hell? And being able to vent in that way, but vent in a way where it's not victim mode. It's saying, okay, this is the situation at the moment, people. This is how it is. Hopefully everything works out. I'll, you know, give you an update in 3 hours time, or whatever. Learning to laugh at yourself, learning to really digging deep to find some kind of gratitude for that moment, for every moment that you're going through. There's single mums out there that are raising children with disabilities. I know that. I've met them, and that really puts it in perspective. So yeah, short answer, owning your faults, owning your flaws, being prepared to share them, and accepting you're only human. There's only so much you can do, you know. That's probably what keeps me balanced. I think I laugh at myself. Yeah, we're all human. Simple.
Yeah, I get goosebumps listening to you, and oh my God, thank you so much for saying that, because that's a reminder for me as well, because I have those frustrated moments myself. And especially also, you know, in my own way of, in my own like version, I'm trying to do so many things at the same time. I'm still sleepless and all of that, and I get frustrated. And in those times, if somebody comes and tells me that, oh, try and find the gratitude, I'd get more frustrated, right? But then, right? I get it, but same time, when I actually breathe and stop and really look at my life, you're
Yeah.
right. I can actually look at things from a different perspective, and that's what I actually really like what you just said. Like what I really got from what you just shared is really just in life and in business, if we really want something, if we know what our why is, and that why is going to push us through, and we'll meet blocks on the way, and we will also become our own block along the way.
That's
But
right.
it's a matter of finding that a different perspective that will shift our state of mind, and to also find that gratitude whenever we can.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So true.
Amazing. So now moving on to the business side of things, I'm really curious because the people who are going to be watching this video and video interview or audio interview will be the ones who are in our same business and the ones who are looking to start an online business because they want similar things. They want their own version of freedom, they want their own version of flexibility, and they want their own version of additional or extra income. Now, you have mentioned a little bit that you started your business, you did your social media thing, you showed up, you were real, you were authentic, and then
Yeah.
within the first 3 weeks or so, you actually had somebody signing up, and then from then on, it's like a domino effect, right?
Yes, that's right.
So my first question is, how do you build your business? Is it using only social media? And what do you think are the most important things to start an online business for those who are curious?
So, yes, with me personally, it's been all online. It's been all through Facebook. So some people obviously, have Instagram, Twitter. I'm really bad with technology. So this is one thing I really want to want to say here. I am that mum that relies on my 14-year-old to help me unlock my phone. I am that mum. So I was only using Facebook to keep in contact with family and close friends, and then obviously with this journey with this business being online and being through social media, it's that was kind of something I really had to lift my game on. And when I say lift my game, I just mean become more present on Facebook. Post more often, not just share stuff that I want to read about later or share a recipe, which is what I was doing. So it kind of forced me to step out of that comfort zone and be more present and raise awareness, build algorithms and so on and so forth, which people will find out about through trainings, the wonderful trainings we have. But yeah, it was all through Facebook. Every single sale I've had has been through something through Facebook. As you know, there's also a business side to Facebook, business pages. I think it's been 90% through my personal page that I generated income, that I found teammates and built my team up. People know different social media platforms that they can use and utilize to build their business and make it work faster than what I have, very much so. I think I had one conversation with someone around the business, and it was a family friend, and how they find out, they found out they'd seen something on Facebook, but they're more of a face-to-face person. So coming from a not a tech savvy person like me, it was incredibly easy, very, very easy. It was all literally just time for me, just getting the time to invest in it. If you've got a phone or even a laptop and you've got a Facebook account already, you're already halfway there. You're already halfway.
Yeah, that's it, because a lot of people think that when they are about thinking of starting an online business, they think it has to be complicated, it has to be hard, it has to be some rocket science, but it doesn't have to be.
So easy.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, if you show up authentic, if you are real and raw and honest, that becomes, you start attracting people who vibe with you, who vibe with your vibe. I would love to know. So you've been in the business for more than 12 months now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Just over.
If you're comfortable, would you like to share how much you have grown within the last 12 months plus in terms financially, as well as, the number of people, whatever you're comfortable to share with, that would be amazing.
Absolutely. So I guess one thing I want to point out is that I've got a very small team. Even though I've reached the rank that I'm at, it's the team I've built are only small. There's probably about 7 of us, I think, at last count. and they've each just started their journey at their own pace, in their own way. But round figure, between the 7 of us, we've probably just under the 50k mark, just under. So that was at last count. I guess people can take into consideration, that's a year's salary for one person, and that's probably at the middle range for some people. So to do that in just over a year, as a team, and we're talking about the average Joes, we're talking about the mums, we're talking about people that only use Facebook to share recipes. That's the kind of people we're talking about, of a really small team of 7 people. As far as the personal growth has gone, it's been, like I said, it's been people that are afraid to write anything on Facebook, let alone get in front of the camera. So to see that growth happen, I know the shifts that have happened with myself, and the more authentic that I've become, the more the brutal honesty that I've been able to share about myself, and seeing that reflect in my teammates, and they're happier for it. There's a lot of the conversations I have with my team are around how they're feeling. And yes, they signed up to make money, they signed up to get an income to support their family or to retire early, whatever the reasons are. But it's a lot of those conversations that we have with each other around, oh my gosh, Jodie, I was putting up with this and this and this from these people, and I had no problem with saying to them, look, that I will not tolerate this anymore. So although people will look at this initially, I think, as a way to make money online, what they also need to grasp is that the personal development that has happened for me, for my team, through coaching, through training, through all the different leaders in this business, you're looking at thousands of dollars per person for that kind of growth, for that kind of coaching. So I mean, if you want to put a figure on that, for the coaching, the training that myself and my team have had, that'll be well over 100k, well over it. It's really hard to put a figure on that, because what figure do you put on happiness? What figure do you put on spiritual enlightenment? I don't know what the words are here, but what figure do you put on being able to show up as yourself? Show up and share your views and share what your flaws are. I don't know whether there's it's priceless. There's no real money value you can put on that.
I 100% absolutely agree with everything that you just said. And I also believe that when people want to start a business, obviously the first thing is we're trained to think logically, right? So the first thing is, okay, cool. Like, how much do I need to invest? How much return am I going to make? When am I going to make that? So that's very logical. That's reasonable for people to look at that. And myself included, when I got into the business, I looked at all of these and I jumped in. What we realized and what we found out along the way is, wow, 50K is great. $500,000 is amazing. 5 million, super amazing. Yeah. But then it's actually not the destination. It's who we become in that process.
That's right. So true. Yeah. So true. And I think that's the biggest, it's been the most rewarding thing, is the messages that I've received from people after I've written a post or after I've shared something, where I may think, oh, this is just, I'm just venting today. You've also got to realize that the impact you have on people is huge. And I think it's not sold as much as what it should be sold through this business. One thing that I think we could do better throughout the journey that we're on, that you and I, the business that we're in, is to highlight to people that what other business do they know of where they get to show up as themselves every day, share their message, share their truth, speak from the heart, and impact people as the main point of the business. That's the main selling point. What other business is that the focus? Money's just the residual part of it. It comes anyway. But to be able to own that fact and say, I'm in a business where I share who I am, I share my story to help others through their life, to help others change their life. I'm really hard pressed to find another business that has that as their main sell point. So I guess that's the biggest thing that you and I can promote, is that this business is about impacting people and helping people. The money is just a flow-on effect from that.
Oh, yes. And the way I see that business is, and I totally understand that some people and most people don't get it when they just
Yeah.
first hear that, because how
Yes.
can they get it when this is not done in a lot of places? What
That's
we
right.
already know is the old way. We're now doing the business a new way, and we're really
Yeah.
stepping into a new paradigm, which
That's
is
right.
great because then we can inspire people and show people that this is what it's all about. But then for those who are not sure about this, I understand that this will be like one thing that they're doing. But what
Yes.
I really want to ask is for those who are wanting to, whether they want to start a new business or whether they want to start something different in their life, what
Yes.
advice would you give to them?
Take the leap. Look at where you are now and ask yourself, are you 100% happy? Are you accepting that this is your life for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years until you know, retire? If there's even a shred of doubt, like a single seed of doubt, that's all you need to look into this business and to look into this journey more. If you're wanting to really express yourself, if you're wanting to join a community, a tribe of people that will absolutely tell you and challenge you every day to step into who you are, into your authenticity, to share your message, to not be, you know, shut down anymore. If you're looking for that, gosh, this is it. There's nothing to be afraid of. All this business is going to do is absolutely draw out that person who you're meant to be in every way, shape, and form. It's going to force you to step into the highest version of yourself. And I know that sounds airy fairy. I know that sounds like, you know, the typical stuff that Tony Robbins would tell you, but it's truth. It's nothing but truth. Gosh, you can reach out to any of us here. We can share our story on, you know, your story about mine, Maria White's, the leaders in this team. We've all got a story. We've all come from a place of, you know, the acceptable 9 to 5 work grinds and chosen to believe that there is a better way to do business. There's a better way to live. And yes, you can have it all on your time frame and whatever way you want it, from wherever you want it. This is it. I just take the leap. Be brave. We'll catch you.
You are amazing. Thank you
Oh,
so
thank
much for
you.
taking the time to share your wisdom with us.
Thank
Now,
you.
for those who are listening or watching, I know they're now itching to know, where are you, Jodie? I want to follow you. I want to check you out. I want to hear more from
Absolutely.
you. So, how can they find you? Where can they find you?
For sure. So I'm the biggest platform you can find me on is Facebook. So I'm under Jodie Hanson as my personal page. I'm no, I don't hide my page, and then Jodie Treanor is my business page. I've got, you know, the different aliases there. That's simply because I couldn't figure out how to merge 2 pages under one name. Now again, I'm not good with tech, but definitely Facebook. Jodie Hanson or Jodie Treanor, and Treanor is a bit funny. It's Treanor. Otherwise, you're not going to find me. But definitely happy to connect, happy to, you know, even just on a level of wanting to find a better way to do life, find a better way to, I don't know, channel everything that's going on for you. It doesn't have to be a business related message. Just get in touch. I love making new friends, so definitely get in touch. But Arab, I just want to say thank you so much for this opportunity, because it means so much to me to be able to reach out to people and just show people and hopefully help them and give them some courage to take the next step to make their lives, you know, everything they wanted to be and more. So thank you so much. Really cool to connect with you.
Thank you so much, Jodie. Keep shining, keep being you, because the world needs women like you.
You too. Thank you, Arabelle. Massive love and light, people. And to you, Arabelle. Thank you, thank you, thank you.